Liverpool FC is hard as hell. United, Tottenham, Arsenal. Watch my lips and I will spell. Cause they don't just play, but they can rap as well.
Okay, we're back. Welcome to another episode of the Anfield South podcast. It's me, your boy Slim, host with the most, as I like to call myself. I'm never going to lose that slogan, you know that, innit? Like, I'm keeping it forever. I don't care if people don't like it, it's mine. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm playing. It's an intimate session today, just the three of us. Boys, introduce yourselves.
Chris, first time around Anfield South.
Yeah, another guy from the WhatsApp group decided to get himself involved.
What's going on, people? Big Sean here.
Yeah, Big Sean back in the building. Yes, people. So like I said, it's an intimate one. It's just us three. But hey, man, just means more airtime for you.
Got a lot
you know
to
what
say.
I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Jeez. Oh, well, we better get going then, innit? So the last game we played was against Burnley. Burnley away. That was yesterday. Final score was 3-0. Goal scorers. I always forget who scores first. I swear down. Every episode, I forget who scores first.
See, this is a touchy one because it
was own goal. That's it.
Yeah.
Own goal from Trent. And then
Mane,
and then Fabhino scored. Yeah. So let's talk about that game. Everyone always says Burnley, difficult place to go to, but
100%.
as you said before recording, you said we've not lost there.
We haven't lost it there. It's the third year.
How easy did we make that look yesterday?
I'm sorry, but it was, to me, apart from the first 20 minutes, once we got the first goal, I didn't see them coming back into it. Not at all.
Yeah. We looked. Well, they did worry us in the first 5-10 minutes or so. There was a few I think Adrian made a good save down to his right, didn't he? Do you know what was impressive about that save? The fact that he clawed the ball away from where the oncoming attacker was.
That's right.
Because I don't know if you watched the North London derby and you saw what was it Leno?
Yeah.
And he palmed it into crazy. So Adrian, that was a good save, man. Considering I think he got a little bit of stick for the mistake he made against Southampton.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, though, to be fair, though, but still.
And the thing is, Klopp said at the end of the day, look, he wasn't 100%. And we need to stop putting the ball back to him anyway. Yeah. Right? So just let him do the goalkeeper stuff.
Yeah.
And I think since then, there hasn't really been any problems.
I feel like if the back line take charge, then Adrian never has to just be a shot stopper.
That's
do you know what I mean? He's not Alisson, so you can't expect him to play football with his feet. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Back line did its job.
That's it.
Definitely, man.
So talking about the back line, Finally, 6 games in. We played 6 games, and we finally kept a clean sheet. How important was that clean sheet, Sean, man?
I think it was very important, considering the fact that we're going up against Woods and Barnes. Barnes coming to a bit of form. I think he had 3 or 4 goals coming into this game.
Yeah, he'd scored a goal in every game.
Yeah, and obviously again, Burnley being a very tough physical side. First 10-15 minutes for obviously them putting the balls in from set pieces and whatnot. The way they will manage to obviously do it, though, I think was quite impressive. And again, like I said, Barnes come to this game obviously in form. Van Dijk had him in his pocket. You know what I mean? I think I saw stats then where I think the touches that they had, I think Barnes had 17, Woods had something like 15.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They had the fewest touches, I think, in the game.
There you go. So it just shows you how well they just dealt with obviously those 2 centre forwards. So yeah, it's very impressive. You know what I mean? Obviously, going back to the game, I think that the midfield did a good job as well. I think they weren't obviously great, but they just did enough to obviously help shield the back four and just go about doing the job. You know what I mean?
We said last week about the midfield that I think it was Sam that said it last week about the midfield, that the midfield has to be-workmanlike. Was it Sam or Richard who said it? Can't remember. Sorry if it was you, Richard. The midfield has to be workmanlike, and it's not about the flair and all of that substance. So I think, do you think we should lay off players like Gini Wijnaldum, because he gets a lot of stick for not being necessarily creative or forward thinking, but when you've got the attacking flair of the front three and plus the fullbacks, you need someone who's going to be a bit safe and assured, don't you think, Chris?
Yeah, but I guess yesterday it's a difficult game to kind of judge that on, because I don't know if it was just me, but certainly in the first half, Burnley tried to press us from the back. So we just played over them. We played over their midfield. So yesterday, really and truly, the guys kind of were just picking up the scraps, if that makes sense. It's only when, and I don't know if it's all right if I can say, it's only when Henderson went off and we actually brought a midfielder who breaks lines in Ox
Yeah.
onto the pitch, that it was like, right, now we're going to try and play possession football. We're going to try and break the lines. We're not going to just play it direct. Personally, I think you have to have a bit of both. I don't think you can just go with workman-like midfielders the whole way through the season. You need people who are prepared to break the lines. Otherwise, once the team that you're playing against works it out, what else have you got?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It was a bit harsh. I feel that's a bit harsh what you said about Henderson though. Like, I feel like that was something I was going to ask about, the long ball tactic that we employ, because I mean it's not something you'd associate with this Liverpool squad and Jurgen Klopp, but I think Henderson was quite good in the midfield.
Yeah,
yesterday,
he was.
To be fair.
He was. But it's unless it was a specific instruction that the guys had been given because they thought, right, Burnley are trying to come onto us, let's just bypass the midfield. Henderson does break, and towards the end of last season he was doing that. But I think if we were to look at him and say what's his best position, is it that breaking forward in the midfield, or is it the sitting? And if it is the breaking forward, is he better than Ox at that job? You know,
The thing with Henderson, he gets into good positions, but he's not convincing in front of goal. I mean, there was an opportunity yesterday, I think, where it broke to him in the box, and you just think, you know what, just put your foot through.
But he passed it.
Yes,
there
he
you go.
passed it, yeah.
And again, if you shoot like who knows, you might score, you might get deflection. You know what I mean? But again, he's also a good player, but you just think in front of goal, like, could just be a bit more convincing,
bit more confident. Yeah, it's funny you say that the long ball tactic. None of our goals actually came from a long ball tactic. It all came from some pretty good football, if you ask me. Obviously, there was the one where, was it me or one of them gave away the ball, but still the weight of pass from Bobby Firmino. Can we just round of applause for Bobby Firmino? I mean, seriously, like, does he eat samba for breakfast? Because like the Brazilian flair is just it's coming out this season. Yeah. And his vision, I think, watching the highlights on that program that comes on.
Yes.
Yeah, come on, man. They're not paying us. They're not paying us.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We might already know, you're not paying us. Anyway, yeah, just the weight of pass and the way he puts that ball into Mane's stride, just for Mane to just come straight onto it and hit it. It's just like, he is the glue. That's what I was going to say. They said that he is the glue that knits the front three together. And I think that as well. I think without Firmino, that front three doesn't tick.
Not at all. And I know we're going to come to it, but when it comes to choices, he makes the right one 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10.
Do you know what? I can see you jumping at the bit. So, all right, cool. We'll jump to that as soon as, you segued nice into it. Yeah, we'll talk about Mohamed Salah. We'll talk about, everybody knows there was a spat between him and Mane about him not passing the ball. So go on, have your say, Chris.
The WhatsApp group is split right down the middle. My personal opinion is, look, forwards are always going to be greedy. There's no problem with that. The issue with yesterday's one, it didn't just happen once, it happened twice.
He could have passed to Bobby.
Could have passed to Bobby first. Yeah, we saw with Bobby, when it was him, he made the right pass, right choice. Mane scores, is 2-0. With Salah, if you're gonna at least make the keeper work, fine. You can't be surrounded by 2 people, take the shot with your weaker foot when 2 of your teammates on 2 separate occasions are free. That for me, they needed to have a conversation about that. They needed to have a conversation about that.
I know that, like it's not just this season. It happened like last season as well. You know what I mean? So,
you're agreeing, yeah?
You know, well, look. I mean, again, if it was just this season, even if, let's say, for example, also say he didn't pass to him. Yeah. If he went, sorry.
Well, he did. To Firmino, he put his hand up.
Yeah, that's
he
Firmino.
said sorry.
But to Mane, like, he didn't like
what
it.
was we were 3-0 up at that time, were we not?
Yeah.
Okay.
But still, that's just acknowledge that, okay, like, my mistake, like, I should have passed to you. And like I said, it was not just this season, it's last season as well. And it's a shame, especially when you consider that you thought that they were getting that rapport back. You know what I mean? Obviously, know when to pass, know when to shoot. To go back to this is like...
Well, shouts out to Paul, because he actually messaged and he was like, Salah and Mane look like they got that harmony back again. And I was like, it's looking that way. Yeah. And then I had to reply back a little while later. I scratched that because it was all like, handbags at 10 paces and that. But don't you think at 3-0 up, if any players allowed to try something, whether it's their weaker foot or not, 3-0 up?
Okay, yes. But the Firmino one, we were not. I don't think we were 3-0 at the time.
And rightly so, he apologised for it.
Yeah.
But I don't personally.
Yeah.
I don't feel he needed to apologise to Mane for that one. We're 3-0 up.
Yeah.
He wants to get on the score sheet.
And
He's an attack. He's a strike. Well, he's an attacking forward.
Yeah.
He wants to get on the score sheet. We're 3-0 up. He's going to try something. I don't see. Personally, I don't see what's wrong with that. Let me just give you some quotes from what happened in Anfield South. Here. Hold on. Good time for the technology to fail me. But anyway, here's what it said. Alex Phillips from Anfield South group. Yeah, shout out to you, Alex. Yeah, he said, if Salah passed more, shot less, and scored less than last season than he did last year, but that he did in last season before. He said no one complained when he scored at Southampton away when he should have passed to Bobby, or when he scored the only goal against Napoli when he should have squared it, or when he scored a banger against Chelsea and had absolutely no right to do so. Pretty sure he has most assists from the front three last season. He has 57 goals in 2 seasons. He said he's not having a pop at anyone who disagrees. He just doesn't really get the negativity around Salah when we gain so much more than we lose through having him.
That's a good point. Right, so now I'm going to go into Anfield South group as well.
Go on.
I think it was a brother called Mason, and hands up if it's wrong. Please don't quote me on that.
Are you talking about the person that... Go on.
He brought out the quote about Messi.
Okay,
Messi scores 50 plus goals every season. But what do his stats for assists look like as well? They're high. At the end of the day, no one's saying don't have a shot. We know that strikers or forwards are greedy. But from time to time, you need to see that the team, there's a person better placed, put the pass in. Let's just...
Even at 3-0 up.
Even at 3-0.
Listen, this has been brewing for a while. Like, again, look, someone like Mane, he seems like a very happy-go-lucky individual. He's not someone to just get irate, obviously just like that. And yesterday you saw him, I've never seen Mane like that.
No, I don't think anybody has. To the point
where, Gomez, Milner,
yeah.
Henderson, all having just say, relax, calm down, you know what I mean? So this has been brewing for a while, and Klopp needs to obviously address it. So
don't you think it's good to have that little bit of fire between the front three there? That just shows how hungry they all are to score and get goals. So in a way, don't you think it's kind of good that Mane had that reaction?
It was good that it came out. Obviously, if you gave us a choice, I think all of us would prefer it weren't public so much, because it gives, I think, other fan bases the opportunity to be like blah 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 and whatever. But personally, it's good. I think that Mane putting it out there and Salah knowing about it, and I'm pretty sure everybody saw the little social when they were in the tunnel going back up.
And Bobby for me, he's a joker, isn't he? He's like, we know when you know your brother's gonna get in trouble or something. It was funny.
So it's good. Let's have that. Make peace, but just know that, listen, no one's going to tell you when and how to pass or whatever. But just know, if the option's there, don't pretend that your head is down and you didn't see. That's what I'm saying.
Well, let me give you the other side of the coin. Another opinion from the Anfield South WhatsApp group from Cecil. Hold tight, Cecil. Big up you. Well, do you know what? Big up you, but Cecil, not big up you though. Anyway, let's read this. Cecil says, he said Salah's first season, he said that we should sell him and cash in because he's so greedy and the chances that he's missed. He said, however, I'm not saying I hate the man.
Wow.
What's he said? Hate the man. Not saying I'm not happy when he scores, but in order for the team to move forward, if we sold him at that point, easy 150 mil, may still get that now. Who would I want? Not sure, but someone very pacey, twinkle toes and can pass. So Cecil was saying we should get rid of Salah because he's too greedy. And he said he's been saying that since last season.
But it's a difficult one because today he took a bit of a hammering for the fact that he said.
Do you know what? Anyone who I love it. Yeah, stand by. If that's what he believes, good on him. You don't have to agree, but that's the beauty of football. It's about opinions, and that's his opinion, and that's what he thinks. And more power to Cecil for saying it. But Cecil, I think you're crazy. I don't care how greedy he is. He's a top class player. You don't sell your attacking players for being greedy.
Do you think Salah's getting? This might sound a bit silly, son. Do you think Salah's getting a bit too big for his boots? Do you feel?
Do you know what? Given his religion and his nature outside of football, I don't think he's getting too big for his boots. I just think that hunger when he steps on the pitch to do well. He wants to do well for the team and for himself personally. And for me, if he's not driven to do well personally, then he's not going to do well for the team.
That's right.
So you have to have that personal drive in order to do well for your team. So I'm happy to see it. I'm happy to see a bit of greed every once in a while. Don't get me wrong, I agree. He should have passed to Firmino, the first one.
Definitely.
The Mane one, I'm not too fussed about because we're 3-0 up.
Yeah.
So if he tried a Rabona, I'm not going to argue.
But then Mane's probably thinking, boy, like I got personal goals as well. Like,
Right,
you know what I mean?
yeah, of course he does. And at 3-0 up, if Mane was in that situation, he probably would have tried to lash it. And if he tried to lash it and Salah was in a better position, I wouldn't be saying he should have passed it.
Yeah.
3-0 up. So,
But
yeah.
you've got to, if you're going to take the opportunity, you got to score. I think, you got to make the keeper work. Weaker side.
But don't you think the situation dictates whether you should score or not? I keep coming back to it. I've said it probably 4 times already. We are 3-0 up.
True.
If that was 1-1 or we're losing 2-1, I can understand.
Yeah.
You put it on a plate, but 3-0 up, really?
Yeah.
Is it that big a deal?
I don't know. You don't want. Sorry, please.
No, so I would say like it's a massive deal, but again, just because it's not this season, it's season before. So again, something's brewing there. But again,
Season before they were both Golden Boot winners.
but
And Salah's assist stats are higher than Mane's.
are they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should have really had them written down, but I know for a fact Salah's had more assists than Mane. So he's not a selfish. Do you know what? Shouts out to Dom, yeah? Dom said it in the Anfield South group. He said that we're only getting on our high horses about it because of what Mane's
did,
reaction.
yeah, that's right.
Sorry, Mane's reaction.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that. I don't think if Mane doesn't have that reaction, do you think we are all discussing it now?
Put it this way, I think in the group at that point, at both opportunities, I saw messages that said, "Why don't you pass?" I think we still would have been happy to win, and I think without the reaction, it wouldn't be a issue. But we were all like, "Look, come on, man. Why don't you just pass? That's quite simple." Like, we can't have Cristiano Ronaldo out here, Mark II. Do you know what I mean? Yes, you might score hundreds of goals, but that might be a bit.
Go on, Sean, say
If
it.
you can get a man like him, then boy, listen, why not? Why not?
Listen,
Wow,
if,
okay.
if Salah's attitude
Yeah.
brings us the Premier League trophy, yeah,
cares?
I'm good with it. I'm good. I'm here for it. While we're on Salah, I heard saw someone in the group saying about Salah and the substitutions, how Mane and Firmino seem to come off a lot and Salah doesn't come off really much. Do you think Klopp favouritisers him, or do you think it was something else why he didn't come off?
I honestly don't know, Slim. Again, when you see the game like 3-0 up, just take him off. Like, you know what I mean? He's had injury problems in the past. You know what I mean? He's gotten injured quite a bit, like frequently. And you just think to yourself like, why do you always keep this guy on? You know what I mean? Like, give him a rest. It's not like we haven't got quality come off the bench. We've got players like Origi who can come in and do the job. Obviously, Mane can do the job. You know what I mean? We've got a strong bench, Shaqiri and whatnot. So for him to always just start from start to finish, it's baffling.
Do you think we should protect him a bit better, Chris?
I think what I'm about to say might be a bit contradictory considering what we just discussed. But I think the reason he stays on, couple in this regard, with what's his name, Mane and Firmino, they came back later, didn't they, from international duty than Salah. But I think actually when you come to think of it, the pace and the fact that it's eye for goal, he will still cause teams a problem. Yeah, we know that Mane's got pace as well, but does he have that same killer instinct that Salah has? I don't think he does. So I think when it comes to the substitutions, the reason for me that Salah stays on more is because if we're under pressure, we know we can hit it, and 9 times out of 10, that killer instinct is higher than anybody else's at the
I hear your point, but I kind of disagree with you because I actually think Mane's are more of a killer this season, especially.
Yes,
I think
this season.
Mane he's had 2 weeks rest after the African Cup of Nations, and he's hit the ground running.
He's got 21 goals in 28 appearances.
I'm saying.
So, boy.
Crazy.
So Mane comes across to me as one of those players, African players who doesn't want to rest. He wants to play football every single day of his life if he could. Do you know what I mean? If there was a match every single day, he'd probably play every single day. So I hear your opinion, but I think if I had to pick out of the two who to leave on a pitch after substitution, for me it would be Mane. But just what I think, just my opinion. So that win against Burnley broke the club record, 13 consecutive wins on the bounce. Do you think us breaking records is important, given the fact of what we're trying to achieve this season, or do you think it's just a byproduct of where we're going?
It's just a byproduct. I'm not really focused this season on us breaking records. It's all about just taking one game at a time and also just winning those games. So records to me this season don't mean absolutely anything at all. We just need to go out and just win every game. Obviously, it looks great. It's very impressive to also win 13 games in a row, but it will mean nothing if we don't obviously win the league or win another major trophy. So I'm not concerned this season about us winning any breaking any records. Sorry.
What about you, Chris?
I'm with Sean. I think even you guys said it last week. Sam, was it? Said I don't really care about keeping clean sheets. At the end of the day, it's about winning. For me, we've done so many different records. Lowest goals conceded, goals scored, this, that, the other. I just want a big trophy now. I just want a big trophy now. So
I hear you. Fair enough. I just feel like there's a little bit of joy in it. Do you know what I mean? Just to see that the team's doing so well, that they're breaking these records and make that, you know what I mean? Because obviously Liverpool as a club, we've been so successful in the past, and those teams obviously created these records and stuff. So for us to be breaking them shows we're going in the right direction, and that trophy could be that step closer this season. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't mind it, but overall I understand. It's all about the 3 points. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I just want to touch on Fabhino.
Oh yeah.
Because I just feel like, I know we're only 4 games into the Premier League season, but I just feel like he's quietly going about his business, and he's really effective in front of that back 4. Well, it's a back 2 most of the time. Do you know what I mean? And the way he just drops in and makes that third centre back, and the cover he gives it, I just think he's been amazing so far this part of the season. So I just wanted to touch on him a bit and see what you boys think of his performances so far.
He's probably the unsung hero in the team. I mean, like I said before, he's not flashy, he's not flamboyant, but he just goes about his job doing it effectively. You can just see that the big difference there is when a player like Wijnaldum or Henderson plays the DM role compared to him. I mean, he's good at covering ground. Also, he's lanky, long and rangy. He's got a pass on him. He's been a great addition. And for 40 million, he must be worth now about 70, 80.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Easily more. Yeah, easily double his money.
He's been one of our best signings in recent years. So, shout out to Fabhino.
We've lacked a good DM.
Definitely.
Haven't we, Chris?
Since Mascherano.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Good shout. Since Mascherano, I can't think of anyone who's played that role and played it with such distinction. And I guess the question I was asking myself was, apart from, let's say, Kante, that comes off the top of the head, who's a better DM in the Premiership? People will say Fernandinho, but he's not really playing at the moment.
He's on his way out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is there anybody better? So for me, there isn't. He is, as Sean said, unsung hero.
Yeah. Big up to Fabhino, you see me? Each and every time. Another question. So, we're 4 games in. We're the only unbeaten team, as everyone likes to keep saying. Has that the start to our season proved that the squad is good enough to compete this season? I know it's early, and it's only 4 games in, but that's
a tough one. Because personally, you're not going to start facing real challenges until, let's say, you're coming to game 4, 5, 6 of Champions League, and then Christmas time kicks in. Right now, you probably can get away with the Wednesday, Saturday kind of, fixture list, and it's the same kind of teams that you're playing and whatever. But when you're having to mix it up, and then the Champions League kicks into gear, and then whatever, I think we'll start to know by December, January. I don't think right now is the thing.
I agree with Chris, because the fact again, not only Champions League, you got FA Cup, you got the Carabao Cup, you got that tournament that we're playing in December.
Oh yeah,
so we go away.
World Cup is cool,
something like that. So again, that'll be a true test of how strong our squad is and the depth that we have.
That World Cup thing is going to be nasty, because we're going to come back from that and have catch up.
Yeah.
So by the time, I don't know how many games we miss.
About 3 or 4.
It's gotta be that, isn't it?
Yeah. So City will have the points on the board, and it's always nasty looking at the league and seeing they've got. That's going to be a bit of a problem. That Send the kids, Klopp.
Unless we're ahead by about 10.
That's true. That's true. But while we're talking about City in the league and stuff, we were saying before we started, we watched the North London derby, and I was saying to you boys, there's no one out there to challenge us or City at the moment. And even for us, that's a problem because who's going to nick the points off of City? I mean, yeah, they've dropped 2 points against Tottenham, but we're due to drop points at some point. I hope we don't, but at some stage. So where do you boys see that we can nick this league off of City?
You know what? We just got to do what we did last season, man. You know what I mean? Like, just literally just go at every game like I mean, last season we lost, one game? And obviously I know it wasn't good enough, but again...
7 draws, though, last season.
Yeah, but saying that, I know we're still early like it, but if we can just also improve on that, obviously less draws, then we've definitely got a good chance of also, winning the league. What you're saying, Sim, about obviously the other teams not being able to compete, you look at the North London derby, Tottenham 2-0 up. I guess a team like Arsenal, who we just toyed with, let them back in the game. You look at Chelsea, so many holes in that team. Like the years from competing, same as I said about Man United.
Like a string vest, innit, Chelsea?
Yeah,
that's
now,
right.
Innit?
Same said about Man United. So yeah, we just got to go game by game, man, and just hope and pray like it. That's it.
The thing is, in a normal Premier League season, you'd give the new boys that have come up, the teams fighting down there, your West Hams and all that kind of, you'd say maybe they might nick a point or two off City along the way, but you just can't see it.
But that's where I think it will happen, if I'm honest with you, because with those TV broadcasters, they always talk about the big six and whatever. Is it really a big six? Because truth be told, Leicester are probably, they could do something this year. They've I think done all right. I'm not going to say Everton. I've got no interest in that club.
But you know
Wolves,
what? It might come down to a team like Everton to help us out.
It might do, but that's what I think. That's where because that's where we got our draws, right? That's where we lost the points. We lost points to Leicester at home and certain other teams like that. There's no guarantee that if you're not complacent, you won't do the same.
Well, do you know what? I don't wish injuries and stuff on players and stuff because, at the end of the day, they're professional footballers. Yeah. But Laporte got a really bad injury, didn't he? Yeah. Who did City play again?
Brighton,
yeah. So he got a bad injury and he's quite an important defender for them, isn't he? So he might be out for a stretch because it looked like a whole knee thing.
Yeah, they said it was hospitalized. So
oh, was he?
Yeah.
So that could affect them big time as well.
That's it.
So we're going to need a little bit of luck if we're going to, 97 points last season. We're going to need a bit of luck if we're going to take it off them because even against Brighton, they looked impressive. But hey, this isn't a podcast for Man City.
No.
So ban them for now. You know what I'm saying? We touched on Bobby Firmino quickly, but what I forgot to mention is he's the highest scoring Brazilian in Premier League history. That's a nice accolade for him to have. He is he's 9 goals ahead of Coutinho, and he got 50. Firmino's got 50. Coutinho got 41 while he was here. So I think
who's that? Who?
Sorry, I was talking a foreign language. I was talking in tongues. Sorry.
So how much did he cost them? Was it something like 32 million or something for Firmino?
Do you know what? Yeah,
something like that.
It was such a small fee.
I think,
yeah. It was compared to what we paid now. Yeah.
You look at when he first came, like under Rodgers, like he didn't also really kick off. But look at him now, Slim. Yeah.
But you know what? He didn't under Rodgers. He didn't really kick off, but I saw signs that he was going to be a good player under Rodgers. But you know what I mean? Rodgers did bring him into the team and did play him a fair bit. Do you know what I mean? But it
was just wear. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's wear.
At that time, yeah. But he just come on leaps and bounds now, man.
It's quality.
I've said it before. So if out of all the front three, if one of them was to leave, I think I'd be most devastated if Bobby Firmino left.
Facts. Ooh, between him and Mane for me. I do like Mane.
Do you know what? Mane close. Yeah. Firmino, Mane, Salah for me.
Yeah. But that just shows you how crazy our front three is. The fact that Salah's so prolific and so clinical. Yeah. And now of the front three, he's the one that if we were to sell any of them, he'd be the first to go if you will.
Do you know why I'd sacrifice him though? Because how many good, excellent strikers down the years have we lost?
Yeah, exactly.
Fowler, Owen, Torres, Suarez, and we always seem to find that next one. So that doesn't bother finding the star doesn't bother me. it's the person to actually put the star on the top of the tree.
That's right.
That's the hardest thing to find.
right.
So the person who's so selfless and has the technical ability to see a pass. See what I mean? Like, how did we suffer when we lost Stevie G? Do you know what I mean? Even though he was a star, he was the guy to put the star on the tree. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I'd sacrifice Salah for me personally. I mean, but hey, none of them are going anywhere.
Nah, exactly.
None of them are going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So let's not even think about it. Okay. I want to touch on a bit of negative press for Liverpool over the week and talk about the Bobby Duncan situation. Just quickly, there's not been a resolution thus far. No. But what do you make of that whole scenario and what his agent was saying about the club?
I don't think it was the right way to go about things. Obviously, just like with Mane yesterday, sometimes you put things in the public eye because you think this is the only way it's going to get sorted out. But it just felt like this guy, the agent, he's brought him out, he's hung him out to dry, the young kid, because I'm not sure if he really is giving him the right kind of advice. Because if he was, he wouldn't be saying that. He wouldn't be pushing forward about wages and a cost and so on and so forth. It wouldn't be about that. It would just be about he wants playing time. But everything was about, he's on a low wage and we agreed this. So when he goes out on loan, they're going to be getting money and whatever. At the end of the day, if we want the money, we'll sell him now. He doesn't even need to go out on loan, you know? So,
I think, what's he on, 340k a year? And he's how old? Like 18 or something crazy like that? That's ridiculous to talk about money.
I mean, I only read it briefly, Slim, but I know that Carragher came out and blasted the agent.
Do you know what he didn't? Do you know what? I got respect for Carragher because he came out and he was very articulate on what he was saying. The agent tried to goad him and said, the only thing you can teach us is about spitting or something like that. And Carragher was like, look, I made my mistakes. I pay for them. And he was very articulate. And I thought that was quite good for Carragher because he could be a bit of a hothead, hence the whole spitting thing. But he came across very articulate and he got his point across. And
he even said about why you bringing Steven Gerrard's name into this.
Yeah, which is
it's
true.
Got nothing to do with Steven Gerrard.
Exactly.
If he's going to reach out to anyone, he's going to reach out to his cousin and say, look, you're at one of the biggest clubs in the world, European champions. A couple of weeks ago in pre-season, you're there taking pictures on your Instagram and Twitter feed, you're with the manager saying you can't believe this opportunity. Do you really think you was going to get into the team within 4 weeks of the season?
You know what I mean? Exactly. For real.
Because Bobby Duncan hasn't actually spoken on it yet, has he?
He hasn't.
But if he was actually thinking that's crazy. Like you said, like you got a little there's players ahead of you.
Correct.
Of course,
like,
you're way down the pecking order. You're
You're behind Brewster.
Do you see what I mean? And he ain't even touched the pitch yet. Do you know what I mean? So, a proper bad advice has been given to that poor young man. And I think he's not done himself any favours. If the club decided to ship him out tomorrow, could you blame him? Do you know what I mean? Bringing the club into disrepute like that, it's just not. Yeah, it's just not on. It's not on. And I think whether it's right or not, whether his agent was just trying to push a move through whatever Duncan said these things or not, I just think you rub people up the wrong way when you're on more money than most people will ever see in a lifetime. Right. See what I mean? I mean, 340k a year, it's ridiculous to be 17, 18 earning that kind of money.
That's right.
You don't even know what to do with it at that money, at that age, sorry. It's nuts. It wasn't nice for me to read that, actually, to be fair.
No, exactly. If you want to play football, there's ways to do it. We've been drawn in the cup now. We know we're going to be playing. That could have been you.
Exactly. There you go. Oh, well, you might have messed that one up. Talking of unarrests, Shaqiri, he come out and he did say a little while ago he wasn't happy with being like the lack of game time, which I wouldn't expect him to be happy. But do we think Klopp needs to give him a bit more game time?
I think so. I think he's one of the few players in our team that's got like a creative edge about him. I mean, we all talk about the midfield not obviously being that creative. He's somebody that can go into the midfield. He might not have the work ethic of the others, but he can get goals and he can also get assists. So I think he should definitely get some more playing time. It's actually shocking that yesterday, he came on against came on yesterday.
Yeah.
Did he come on? He didn't come on last week, didn't he? Against
no
Arsenal, yeah.
No.
Just
Do you know what I mean? So again, like the lack of playing time that he's gotten, I can imagine also he's frustrated. He's turned down Switzerland. Going on international duty.
I heard that as well.
Yeah.
What is he turning it down for? To stay back
stay,
and do some more training.
Yeah,
There you go,
right.
exactly. So that shows he's got the right attitude and he's obviously eager to obviously get into the team.
Yeah, because he's Switzerland's kind of like main man, isn't
go-to
he?
guy,
He's kind of their talisman.
He probably had to do it though, because if those quotes that came are attributed to him and he actually said those things, again, you've said them when you're not with the club, right? So that can count against you. Klopp doesn't always come out and say how he feels, but he will let you know with the way he behaves. Sacco knows very well. Sacco will learn
Sacco
that
found out the hard way, boy.
So
Where is that guy? Sorry, he's not still at Palace, is he?
Palace, isn't
No, is he still at Palace?
I believe so.
I think he just
Can't even get a game there.
Who cares?
Exactly. That's
No, I'm just interested
Yeah.
because I was thinking he disappeared. But anyway, go on.
So if you now want to get back in the good books, you're probably going to have to put your head down and actually say, look, because you can do it. He's not saying he's retiring from international football, but he's saying, look, these 2 games here, let me just try and get back into the first 11, because if I don't get in there, I can't even play international football, full stop. So
And the thing is, the teams that they've got, I think Switzerland they've got Ireland and Gibraltar.
Oh,
Come on, bro.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Switzerland.
Like,
Switzerland should be winning those games,
that's it.
really.
trust me.
Yeah.
And Klopp has come out and said that we will need him. Just come out and said that.
yeah, that's it.
But it's funny because thing is, right, with Klopp, right, you can't take what he says as face value. Because he is Mr. Charm offensive. Like, he'll have you like eating your shoelaces by the time you finish having a conversation with him. But what is he saying behind closed doors is a whole nother story. But then on the other hand, I trust Klopp.
I do.
I mean, look at the time he took to bring Cater into the fold. Granted, he's been injured in and out, but when we've seen him, he's looked okay. Fabhino. Do you see what I'm
Start
saying?
for a
Like
while,
he knows. So Robertson. So we were all saying with Robertson, like, hey, why is he not playing this guy? Why not? But anyway, so I trust him with his judgment. So the fact he's not bringing in Shaqiri makes me say, well, there must be something. Klopp thinks he shouldn't start. Then I'm gonna go with it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, good on Shaqiri. I'm glad he's hanging back and he's gonna try and fight his way, because I like Shaqiri.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Good player still.
Great, someone we need for set pieces. Not that we've had many set pieces so far, but who would take our set piece? Who takes our set pieces? It's crazy. But that's a whole other ball game. Oh, excuse me. So like I said before, we're top of the tree. Unbeaten. Quick summary of the first 4 games.
I see improvement. I think each game we've obviously gotten better, and I think yesterday, Slim, I know that Chris touched on that we've beaten Burnley for the past 3 seasons, but they are still a tough ground to go to, Turf Moor. And yesterday we made it look so easy. You know what I mean? Yesterday was a walk on the park. Once we got that first goal,
It was,
you know what I mean?
it looked at a canter,
so I just
didn't it?
look at improvement. And also yesterday we got a clean sheet as well. So hopefully upwards and onwards, you know what I mean?
What about you?
I have to agree with Sean. At the end of the day, it's good. Right now, it's good because you never know how losing out last season affects you. Thankfully, we got number 6, so it's like we put that to bed and we can just kick on, and we're really determined this season. It seems like the only thing is, as much as we spoke about trusting Klopp, this whole high line and then sometimes actually dropping back and playing the long balls over the top, I'm not comfortable with that at the moment.
I think that's only a tactic we saw against Burnley, because they like to. Everybody's doing this playing out from the back thing, and so oppositions are now all pushing up into the back 4. So sometimes the only way out of the press is over the top. Do you see what I mean? Because not every team can compete with you on a football level. Right. So all they've got is that energy for the first 20 minutes or so to press onto it. So I don't mind long ball. For me, football, things come around, innit? Things go around and round, like fashion, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What you had as a kid, like you might have thrown away in your 20s and then in your 40s or whatever, it's back in fashion.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I think football's a bit like that. So now the styles change. I think we might see a slight revert back to the old school. Do you see what I mean with the long ball? So I'm not adverse. I'm not adverse to that. But it has been a good start to the season, and it does look like we mean business again this season.
Definitely.
So long may it continue. But these damn international breaks, though, man. Seriously, man. Like not that FIFA are listening to us or FA are listening to us, but if by any chance someone knows someone, you know what I mean, they've got some compromising photos, like, can we just get rid of this down? Like, the season's just started. Like, we waited all summer. Season's just started. And now there's like a 2-week break.
That's right. And then you're worrying about your players.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Because who's gone? Ox has gone of the English core.
I think we got the most players in
Exactly.
England
Look
squad.
at that.
Ox, Henderson, Trent's gone.
Yeah.
I don't even know. That's it.
Gomez.
Gomez is gone. That's it. You're right. Gomez is gone. So then you got Genie and
Van
they go in
Dijk.
Holland.
Yeah.
You got Alisson's injured. You got Firmino's going to Brazil with
Salah
God knows
obviously
where.
Egypt.
Salah Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's too much.
It's
too much.
And then when we come back,
It's Newcastle.
we got Newcastle.
Early kickoff. Early kickoff.
Are we away for that one
No,
as well?
home.
Are we home?
Yeah.
That's the only plus side. Newcastle at home, which isn't going to be an easy game. Because, I mean, they turned over Tottenham, didn't they?
At their place.
Okay,
At their
but
place.
what you got to look at? Okay, Tottenham. For me, Tottenham are not levels. Are levels? Yeah. But for a team like Newcastle under Steve Bruce, new manager, to go there and hold them 1-0, that's still you have to respect what they did. You have.
I still think that we'll beat them, but it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be.
No,
a
it's not
walk
going to
in
be
the
a walk in the park.
They will
But
give us a bit. You know what I mean? They've got some good players in that team. They've gone and bought that guy from German teams.
That's right, yeah. The
forgot
striker.
his name,
The striker.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
he's huge.
You know what I mean?
He's huge.
It's not exactly Solomon Rondon, though.
Yeah,
is
no.
it?
Shouts out to Ken. Shouts out to you, Ken. Oh, jeez. I'm not saying we're not going to win. I just say like they're not. It's not. Nothing's a given. I'm not taking anything for granted.
No, I don't.
Even at this early
When you
stage.
look on paper, we should beat them.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Old adage: the game's not paid on
It's
paper.
not. It's
You
not.
know what I mean?
It's
Very
not.
true.
But
I'm saying.
if you had said to me it was a Rafa team as opposed to a Steve Bruce team, I'd be, I guess, more wary. I'm not sure that they made the right. But it's not a Newcastle podcast. It's a Liverpool podcast. You know. But yeah, they made some decisions I don't really understand.
So yeah, that international break's a bit of a palaver.
something.
We'll try and get rid of it. All right, cool. Let's move on to the Champions League. You know what I mean? The draw was made in midweek. We drew out Salzburg, Napoli, and Genk in our group.
Yeah.
What do you reckon about that group? Any potential banana skins in there?
Napoli away.
Yeah.
Napoli away.
What was the score? We lost 2-0 away last
One.
season.
And it was the last minute.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, slack defending. We let in they had
thought it
one
was two, but
cross,
anyway, whatever.
and then that was
Yeah.
it. But we were awful all night.
Yeah, we were. But I remember us being bad. I
Yeah,
remember it
we
being
were
bad.
awful all night.
Yeah. So theoretically, we should finish
First.
Yeah.
first or second in that. You never know. If
I mean-
what you're saying, sorry to cut you, Sean. If we go back to what we were saying about the squad being strong enough, and you saying when the Champions League kicks in, we might have a couple of slip ups because they're not
We might.
no mugs. So
We might do.
I'll take first or second.
No, definitely. I mean, we can't also take any game for granted, but you would have thought that we would have learned from last season because let's be honest, in our Champions League run last season in the group stages, it wasn't really impressive in my opinion.
We lost all our away games, didn't
we
we?
lost-
In the group. Yeah, in the
And
group.
we lost
stage,
to
all of them.
some
Belgrade.
Red
Red
Star
Star
Belgrade.
Belgrade.
And we were awful
Yeah,
then as well.
No, that was the game I was thinking of.
Oh,
yeah, that's
yeah,
where we
okay,
were
the 2-0,
terrible.
yeah, we
2-0,
were awful that night.
Yeah.
But hopefully we've corrected the mistakes from obviously last season. And again, I can't see us not getting out of that group. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Let's just go on to defend our Champions League crown.
Oh, feels nice to say that, innit?
Trust me, bro.
Do you think we can retain the Champions League this year?
if you get like the luck of the draw, then
A favourable draw.
why not? Like, innit?
Yeah.
Who do you want to avoid in the Champions League going forward?
Atletico.
Do you know what, Sean?
Atletico.
Why did you say that? Because when their name came out, I was like, nah, please no. Because they're the best defensive side I've seen in my life.
They've done a great bit of business this season.
Yeah, they have.
Great bit of business. They've won in that
João
Felix.
Oh, he's something
Yeah.
else.
Educate
He's
educate me.
No, this boy he's already tearing it apart, isn't he?
They're saying like he's the next big thing to come out of Portugal.
yeah.
He's the next, like obviously big star. So
Comfortable on both sides as well. Both feet.
They got Kieran Trippier as well, didn't they?
Oh, steady on.
Was it? No ratings for Trips, you know. Come on.
But listen, Simeone, he's a great coach. You know what I mean? He's obviously won La Liga. They went to the Champions League final under him. So
Yeah.
again, that is one. That's and Juventus.
because they're quite
Juventus.
solid
Yeah.
defensively.
Yeah,
aren't
and they've
they?
done
They're
business
very
as well. Also,
organised.
they bring in guys like, they bring in Ramsey. They still got players there like Khedira.
Yeah, don't say Emre Can. We don't say him.
Forget him.
Listen, I was a Chan fan, but boy, look,
You were, yeah. When Chan
went-
came, Sean,
Yeah, like
he was Sean's
went, like-
guy. And the thing is, right, Chan was good for us. Let's have it right.
But
innit?
he's
He
left,
was-
that's it.
But,
Yeah, no, of course,
of
yeah.
course. But you know, we could give a little bit of airtime. You know what I mean? he was good, but I don't think who's there at What's his name? Is there now at Juventus?
What, a manager?
Yeah.
Sorry, innit?
Yeah,
Sarri,
Sarri doesn't
yeah.
want him, does he?
No.
Doesn't want
No,
him.
doesn't
He told
really
him he could.
want him, yeah.
He said he could go, but
They're saying they want to try and get rid of up to 6 players.
Yeah.
Supposedly, this is what I've
But the
seen,
squad is stacked, though.
especially in the midfield.
Yeah, it's stacked. Even
Well, they-
Matuidi, innit? The French brother.
Matuidi's there.
Yeah,
who was it that was gonna go to Man United? Was it from Juve?
Mandzukic.
No.
Dybala.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they still got the Barla there
Yeah,
as well. I
as
don't
well.
know
For real.
why Sarri was trying to get rid of him. Gunman, real gunman.
Yeah. But he's all about Higuain, though. He took him to Chelsea, didn't he? And then now
suppose.
he's back, so
Yeah, but Higuain, no,
he's not that guy.
Yeah.
He's not that guy.
No.
You know, it's funny. Yesterday, they played Napoli.
Yeah.
And they were up 3-0.
Who Juve?
Yeah.
Up 3-0. Napoli came back
3-3.
3-3. And then obviously, Juventus went on to win 4-4.
4-3
Who
last
scored the
minute.
winning goal?
Oh, please. Koulibaly on goal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna say what I want to say because I know you don't know what I'm gonna say, innit? But let's just move on swiftly from that. But so yeah, okay, Juve and Atletico, yeah, 2 teams I'd mind avoiding as well. Who do you think is the biggest threat in the competition for us retaining our crown?
Honestly,
Yeah.
it's going to sound mad, but I think it's Barcelona. You might say City, but I think over 2 legs, I think we'd have enough. I think Barcelona, they have become banter.
After that game,
I'm sorry, but we've all seen it. They have become banter to us. I think if they could get past other teams, they would be our biggest problem because they won't go to sleep like they did.
yeah.
They
But then-
won't quickly corner taken quickly. Origi. Do you know how many times I've heard that?
Well, did you not see when Dortmund drew Barcelona in a
Thank
thing
you.
in a group? How they put out a tweet.
Yeah, Dortmund tweeted saying
Yeah.
you better get practicing
Practices on
corners.
corners.
Yeah.
They become banter.
Yeah.
So I think they would be looking at it that they owe us one.
Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna play them again if I'm honest.
Nah.
For me, I'm gonna go with Atletico. I mean, regarding Barcelona, I think they're an aging side. Even though they're starting to bring in a few younger players through, I think this season they've gone onto a bad start this season. Actually, I think I don't think they've won a game. I don't think.
Serious?
I'm
Yeah, they've been
not sure.
drawing.
Yeah, I think
They've
they've drew.
been
Yeah, I
drawing,
think they lost the opening game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lost the opening game. I think they've drew in the last
2.
or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think Atletico. I think they've got the perfect blend of. They've got experience there and they've got youth there. Like this João Felix guy, I'm telling you, Slim. Like,
He's the
trust
real
me,
deal,
he's
yeah.
the real
He's
deal.
the real deal.
He's the real deal.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, still, man, Barca. I just think you just can't keep him out at the Camp Nou, yeah, and I just think
This is the problem.
yeah. I think if we're gonna play them again, I'd sooner play them in a final.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather lose to the
Yeah. Because we were unfortunate at their place.
because
it was not
Yeah.
3-0.
It wasn't a free.
It wasn't
No,
a 3-0.
no. I mean, Messi was playing on another planet that day,
That's
wasn't
right.
he? So yeah.
But that would be painful though. If I don't think it will. Listen. Let's look at the facts of it, right? Every time you're in Europe, you don't know what's going to happen, right? But Jurgen Klopp, he's had 3 years in Europe with us. He's made the final every year that he's been there, right? Every European campaign, my man's made the final, and he's not lost a 2-legged affair with any team.
Yeah, he's got a good record like that,
he's got a
hasn't
good
he?
record, so it's not out of the realms of
Possibility.
reality.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
But I've said it before, I say it again, and people think I'm crazy. Like, as much as I loved winning the Champions League the sixth time, if we get knocked out after the group stages, I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I just don't want to get knocked out. Obviously, I feel it's impossible to get knocked out of the group with the group we have. But anyway, I won't want to get knocked out. I don't want to go in Europa League. But yeah, I'm comfortable with that. I think all our eggs need to be in this Premier League basket.
Agreed. Yeah.
And I think I think the Champions League would offer a welcome distraction to City for us to try and sneak in the back door. Do you know what I mean? Because I think they need to win it. And I think, excuse me, I've said it before. I said it on TalkSport when I was on with the guy that does the Man City show, Nigel's name's Nigel. I said, if they don't win the Champions League with Pep there they're never going to win the Champions League.
Never.
So I think Pep could be on his way out. He doesn't stay around for too long.
Do you think it's important this year that they really crack on with it? With the Champions League?
I do. I mean, they've got a big achievement ahead of them, retaining the Premier League title like 3 years in a row. That's a big, like, do you know what I mean? That's history book stuff. I don't think anyone would ever do that if they did it. But they need that European trophy to be taken really seriously as a club. Yeah. Even for like, don't get me wrong, for signings and stuff is not a problem because they just throw money at the problem. But I think even as a player going to Man City, you'd still be aware like, they still haven't won that Champions League yet. They're not. So I think they've got to go hard for that Champions League this season.
I just think in the Champions League, like, I mean, they're completely different from what they are in the league. I mean,
they're not as dominant personally.
Not at all.
No.
They leak a lot of goals. So yeah, they did. They leak a lot of goals, and it's
So then, is it the same for us when it comes to the Premiership? That people are looking at us, they're thinking they're not too far away. They're a good team, but they still ain't won a championship.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course. But you know what? Saying that, I think a lot more people look at us with a bit more pity. I think even though he's a ex-Liverpool player and Liverpool fan, he said it. Jamie Carragher, he think this squad deserve a Premier League trophy.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people. Well, even John Waters said it after the Burnley game. He said, I grew up an Evertonian fan, but he said, I wanted Liverpool to win it. So I think people have sympathy with us because of how long it's been and stuff. But for me personally, as a Liverpool fan, the fact we haven't won it,
it's painful.
But it kills me, bro.
Yeah.
It kills me.
Yeah, it's painful.
I mean, like, we could go down, like, last season's team could go down as one of the best teams to never win the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's funny because you said before we started recording, Sean, about, was it you or one of you who said it, that we have to move on from
97 points.
You, Chris, innit? But can't. It was such an amazing feat. We can't move on from that.
But then you see, we were talking about records as well, right? And how we feeling about the records that we're obviously breaking and whatever. Why is it that there's one record that all the time we don't surpass, which is we're top at Christmas, and then we never win the league? The only team who keeps on doing this.
Well, how many times is that? Like 2 or 3
it's
times?
Three times now.
Yeah.
Wow. It's
please don't upset my
so
Christmas,
painful.
Liverpool. Please don't upset my Christmas.
It's so painful.
I think I'll take being in second at Christmas then.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Jeez, some sort of reverse juju. You know what I mean?
Man.
Mad. But anyway, the Champions League, it looks like an easy ride, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? And I guess the other teams in our group will be fearful of us, given what we did.
Did you guys see the video of I think it's the Salzburg players?
Yes.
You saw it, yeah?
I haven't seen it.
So when the draw was made and then they got pulled out the hat with us, loved it. Absolutely loved it.
They jumped up.
Yeah, jumping up. They couldn't believe it. It's like going to the European champions. Yeah.
Going to play at Anfield.
Yeah, but when they go down, we do the business.
Hopefully.
Then what?
Then it'll be a whole nother story. Fuck them, man. Never coming back here again. Yeah, no. We've got the power to do that. Yeah, no, it looks like a walkthrough. We should go through to the next round of your problems. Yeah. Well, let's talk about the big man at the back, the number 4. Yeah, Virgil and his Men's Player of the Year and Champions League Defender of the Season. Those 2 big awards, I mean, must be a shooting for the Ballon d'Or now, eh?
When you looked at the gap between first and second, I'd have to say, yeah, I think he's getting it. I think he's getting Ballon d'Or. And truth be told, who else has been better?
Well, shouts out to Salty Ferdinand.
I saw that.
You see what he said?
Oh.
He said, you know what, Virgil van Dijk's been great, but when you've got a striker who scores 50 goals, you can't look past that. That was such a salty thing to say.
He didn't come with the same energy when Salah scored 40-something odd the year before.
That's true.
Didn't come with the same energy.
Mad. He's still a mank though, isn't he?
That's it. At the end of the day, you can make your argument suit your agenda, so that's fine. At the end of the day, the people who play football right now, they know. And they made the vote.
You look at the impact that he's had on our team.
Straight.
And now obviously we're Champions League winners. Who else? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who else?
We've said it so many times on here, man. What absolute beast.
Boom. That's it.
He's a rock. He's a world. He's like, I would put him in that world-class category.
100%.
Without even having won anything. And it's crazy because we're obviously, we're a Liverpool podcast or whatever else, whatnot. But if you're a football fan, you have to just take a knee for this guy because he's amazing, man.
We bought for 75 million. Not that the fees, obviously to me, is that the issue or anything like that. But like, how much is he worth now to them?
Could you imagine? He's got to be Coutinho money, you know.
Yeah,
150, 160 mil.
And do you know what it is for me? It's not so much because those guys, the Ronaldos and the Messis of this world, they've been doing this for X amount of years, and that's great. But they've always been in teams where a lot of it's been geared towards them. The difference for me with Van Dijk is, one, when he came, people said he was a waste of money. But look at what he's done
Who said
to
he
the
was
players around him.
He's made everybody better.
When Gomez plays with him, we're like, Gomez is, do you know what I mean? When Matip plays with him, he's like...
He's turned Matip into...
Fabhino, yesterday I see him like even orchestrating. Van Dijk doesn't have to do it all by himself. Like the other guys, he doesn't have to be the centre of attention. But what he does for the whole team... Nah, that influence, you can't buy that. I'm sorry.
That's priceless.
Yeah,
isn't
you
it?
can't buy that.
I mean, Matip for me, man. I said it yesterday. I sent a message in the group. I was like, he's in the form of his life.
Yes, yeah.
This guy, man.
Like, and the thing is, when he first came to him, like, who would have thought he would have turned into this kind of player? Because, when he came in, it was obviously injury prone, very frail. We questioned whether or not he's good enough to play for Liverpool.
Yeah.
And now look, like, there's no way you can drop this man. There's no way.
Trust me.
Who said it on the podcast last week that when he first came, he was on the free, so we were happy, but then he started playing with Mignolet and Lovren.
It was a bit crazy. It was crazy for a minute, but the Van Dijk effect, man. They should put that in a spray, man.
That's right. That's right.
Now many people would have confidence after that.
This is it.
Get 2 gallon that. The Van Dijk effect, man. Seriously. And also, shouts out to Alisson. He got the Champions League goalkeeper of the season. I mean,
deserved.
He's been amazing, isn't he?
Could you argue with him? He's been just as important as Van Dijk.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Just as important. But if I had to pick one of the two. If I had to lose one, I could buy Alisson.
Oh, yeah.
Because if your back four in front of you is doing business, that gives you confidence. Right. Because like I said before, every goalkeeper's a shot stopper. That's their first job. That's the basics, innit?
Facts.
It's just the Alissons and the Edersons have got that little bit extra with their feet, do you know what I mean? And stuff like that, which makes them, world class. But
Case in point is Adrian. He's in goal right now.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we still won 4 out of 4.
Apologies, boys. He's living his best life, isn't he?
He's enjoying it.
They go from being what? Because did West Ham release him?
Yeah.
And now look.
That's it.
I mean,
he's back. And at the moment, he's number 1. And that just shows you, like you said, goalkeepers are shot stoppers first and foremost. But what Van Dijk is doing in terms of organisation, making sure the midfield drops back, do whatever they have to do, and then a threat in the other box. I'm sorry, you can't buy that.
Yeah, I'd like to see Van Dijk get 4 or 5 this season in the league. I would like to see that actually. If Van Dijk and Matip between them can get 10 goals, then we're laughing, aren't we? Really?
How much? I think last season Van Dijk got I think he got 9 in all competitions.
Yeah.
So I think he can easily
can
surpass
do it.
that.
Yeah.
But that was more than all of our midfielders. But maybe that's for another day.
Well,
That's more than all of our midfielders.
I granted, I hear you, but like we touched on, like we said last week, and I'm fully in agreement, and like I agree with now, is that we don't need a flair midfield. We need that midfield to get through that work. Yeah, that dog work, as Dan likes to say, Savage Dan likes to say. I think, you know what I'm saying? I like that. You know what I'm saying? They got to get through that in order for the rest of our players to thrive. Do you see what I mean? Like, if they don't put in all that work and do all that running, then the front three and the wide men, the fullbacks can't do what they do. You know what I mean? So the way I see Genie cover ground yesterday, like it broke down and I see him busting the gut to get out to the left.
I saw that.
Not
as well.
many central midfielders will be on that, you know. So
I mean, they also did their job still, but I still think, and I said last week, I still think that once Ox gets back to starts getting more game time, I think that he's going to displace one of the.
Nope.
You don't think so?
No.
What, these guys who played yesterday?
Yeah.
That was the Champions League starting 11. No. That team is
He hasn't
locked
got
in.
the defensive
That team's locked in.
capabilities for me.
It's locked in.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I think if you want to go out and attack,
Yeah.
he's your man.
Yeah.
But if you want the cover, he's not got it. He will track back, but he's not got it. He'll make a stupid foul, or you know what I mean.
What do you think? What up to play him in the Champions League games? Because
Yeah, where we need to. Yeah,
because
I
obviously
do.
teams like Napoli, well, not necessarily Napoli, but other teams, they don't play at the frantic pace of the
Yeah.
teams in the Premier League.
And they're going to probably sit
Exactly.
in.
Yeah.
Like you said, players to break the lines. I'd be happier to play Ox in them kind of games there. But
Definitely.
your Premier League games week in, week out, I don't think he's going to get much of a sniff.
Okay.
Milner is most likely the next one in line with those kind of things.
Which I said last week, I don't agree with. He's got a part to play. He's still very fit, very good at what he does, very influential. But I think it's now time to pass the baton. So give someone else the chance to be the super sub, if you like.
But it would be Naby, but
Guy's got to get fit. He's got to get fit.
he's so brittle.
Said it before. Is he even African? I'm
Certainly not eating the right foods.
Yeah, I've never known an African to be so
Yeah,
fragile.
nah.
Seriously, and that's not even just banter, but it's not even banter at the same time. Because if you look at Africans that have come to the Premier League, bro, they're always like hard as nails, bro. Literally.
He's so brittle.
But hey, that's another story for another day. But yeah, boys, that there be the end of the show. No, I'm joking. Hey guys out there, if you're listening, please, as I say always, man, feel free to get in touch, man. Drop us your number on Instagram, which is Anfield_South1, on Twitter, which is @SouthAnfield, and join the WhatsApp group. You know what I'm saying? Like I said last week to Richard, now Chris, you could be sitting here joining us on a podcast, or you just want to come along and come in the group for the bants. You know what I
Trust
mean?
me, and there's plenty of that.
There you go. There you go. But boys, it's been emotional as always. I've been Slim, your host with the most as always. Today we've had Chris with us
That's right.
and Big Sean.
People take care.
Hey, enjoy the international break, man. Go outside, see the sun, smell the grass, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time, man. Peace.
Definitely.
Oh my word, that's unbelievable, it really is. I think they should stick to playing football. Terrible. What do you think, Kenny? Oh yeah.